Okay, we're looking here at this bush tucker weed. It looks very much to me like it's Solanum nigrum, a wild food, a foraging food, a bush tucker food. I'm no expert, though. Always seek the advice of botanical experts and our first people. Now, the Australian Aborigines ate some sort of Solanum, according to Cribb's wild food in Australia. That looks very like Solanum nigrum to me. That's what it looks like. It's very black, isn't it? There's a butterfly. How pretty. Oh, it won't fly in front of the camera for me. Oops, there's some ripe fruits. Let's have a closer look at them now. Here we have, anyway. What am I filming down there? Hundreds and hundreds of what look to me like Solanum nigrum. They look to me like Solanum nigrum. I'm not a botanist, so I can't recommend you eat them, but I am interested in bush tucker. The little fruit things hang down. They hang downwards. Come on, focus, you intelligent thing. The little fruit things hang downwards, if that's any indication to a botanist. I did eat them years ago when I used to do bush tucker in Sydney, but I haven't eaten them in more recent years. And they are related to tomatoes. They're a Solanaceae, aren't they? Solanum nigrum. If they're not Solanum nigrum, they're a close relative. And as I said, the Australian Aborigines ate some sort of Solanum. And, well, anyway, and in nearby Indonesia, they use and cook these too. So there might have been some interaction between Australia's first people and the islanders. There could have been. Let's have a look at some of the fruits anyway. You squeeze them. I don't want to squeeze them all over the lens. Here goes. Anyway, oops. Let's crush some. You could make a wine out of them, couldn't you? Look at all the seeds. They're just like juicy tomatoes. I'll have a little taste. What do they taste like? It's been so long. I'm nervous about bush tucker because I'm not a real expert on some things like this, and let's taste them. I'm just like a bit like a raisin. Not as acidic as a tomato. Not terribly sweet. Not unpleasant. A sort of jelly in the middle. What would they be like? A bit like a blueberry. I'm nervous about swallowing. Anyway, yes, I've got to look up all my books, but this looks like Solanum nigrum. As I said, I used to eat them years ago when I was braver. I haven't been so brave because I'm out in the country. Of course, in Sydney they grow around lamp posts, which means if you're going to eat them, you'd want to wash all the dog urine off them, wouldn't you? You would. Anyway, plenty of ripeys here. I suppose I should get out all my botany books, shouldn't I, and make a careful study. So many of them, all ripe. Of course, this family has a bad reputation. This is, its nickname is Black Nightshade, isn't it? In America, there's deadly nightshade and all that sort of thing, so you've got to be very careful when you eat nightshades. Of course, it's not that easy to find the truth on the internet about these plants. Wikipedia says these are poison, but I believe they could possibly be poison if they're eaten green. But like there's a green one here. You don't eat the green ones, you eat the ripe black ones. Like green potatoes are poison, but Wikipedia isn't. You can't believe everything you read in Wikipedia. Some things it says that aren't poison are poison, and some things that aren't poison, it says are poison, yes. So, whatever. Don't eat anything anyway without seeking expert advice. I'm not telling you to eat these. I'm just looking at bush tucker as a potential. This grows as a weed in my garden. And our native people did eat some sort of Solanum. I believe this is probably Solanum nigrum. If you know, you can tell me, can't you? If you know all about Solanum, Solanaceae. Look at the flowers. Yes, let's find an open flower. Look. There's a little open flower if you need more identification. Say, ah. There's a pretty little flower. This is just for botanists and bush tucker people who are interested. I don't pretend to be an expert, I repeat. Little bunches of berries and flowers. And overall the berries tend to point downwards. The berries all tend to hang downwards. If I drop dead, a friend of mine on YouTube, I haven't heard from him for a while, but he ate one of these and he broke out into a sweat. I think it might have just been a negative sort of placebo effect, because I felt like that too. I've been frightened when I've eaten something strange for the first time. Your fear can get the better of you. Although it's important to have fear, because fear is necessary to stop you eating poison. Once I was out at some caves with my nephews, and I said, look, Brian, there's some wild fennel above. Go and grab some of those seeds and eat them because they're edible. And when I finally caught up with him, they were hemlock. Fortunately, he was skeptical about wild foods, and he was all nervous because, of course, his parents told him not to eat weeds and things. And when I caught up with him, he was holding hemlock. And hemlock can look very like wild fennel when it's in winter time, when it's lost its leaves. It can, so you've got to be cautious at all times. I think in Indonesia they actually eat the leaves of these, boil them up. What's another good book? There's Wild Food in Australia by Cribb and Cribb. There's Tim Lowe's Wild Herbs of Australia, is it? That's a very good book. It's got information about these Solanum, Solanaceae. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you. See you then.